Hey everybody! In this tutorial I want to show you how to make a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. Now this is going to use a combination of the pattern stitch called what I call a chain 2 loop, and then also the front post stitches and the back post stitches. And the reason why I like to use the chain 2 loop stitches instead of just plain double crochets or half double crochets or singles is because I feel it's easier to find where your post stitches are, especially when you want to get into making cables. So for this particular example I want you to start off with a chain 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. And this is just a swatch just so we can start off. And we're going to build on this and start to build cable stitches. But the first thing we're going to start off with is, like I said, the front post and the double crochet. Front post double crochet and the back post double crochet. So the first thing you do is do a chain 2 loop in the second chain from hook. Just like that. And that's a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And then skip your next chain. And then we're going to do another chain 2 loop in that chain. Now we're going to skip a chain and do a double crochet. Then we're going to skip that chain, the next chain, and do a chain 2 loop. There we go, like that. And then skip the next chain and do a double crochet in the next chain. Skip the next chain and do a chain 2 loop in the next one, and then skip one and then do a chain 2 loop in the last stitch, or the last chain. Alright, and then we're going to do a chain 1 and we're going to turn. But before we turn I want to show you what it looks like. So we have 4 chain 2 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, excuse me. And then we have 2 double crochets, one right here and one right here. And the post of those double crochets are where we're going to work our first post stitches around. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to work a chain 2 loop in my first chain 2 loop. And to work into a chain 2 loop, you just work into the chain 2 space. I'm going to do a chain 2 loop in the next one, like that. Now we're at our double crochet, and this is where we're going to work a front post double crochet. What you do is you wrap once around your hook, and that's called a yarn over, and usually it's abbreviated as a YO. And then you're going to insert your hook from front on the right side. Okay, go around the stitch and back to the front again. So it's going to go from front to back to front again, around that post. You don't want to work into the top of the stitch. You're going to work around the post of the stitch. I'm going to grab our yarn and draw it through like that. Now, because I'm right-handed, I inserted my hook from right to left around the post of that stitch. If you're left-handed, you're going to insert your hook from left to right. So I'm going to grab my yarn and bring it up. And notice I have 3 wraps around the hook. And we're going to take off 2, and then we're going to take off 2 again. And that is my front post double crochet. Next we're going to chain 2 loop in our chain 2 loop, which is a single crochet, chain 2 double crochet, and then we're going to make another front post around our next double crochet, which is right there. So wrap around, go from front to back to front again, grab your yarn and bring it through, and then take off 2, and then take off 2. And then we're going to chain 2 loop in each of our last 2 chain 2 loops. Go through those kind of quickly. As such. You see, they pop up a little bit, like a nice little stitch definition there. Alright, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And what we're going to do is work a chain 2 loop in each of our first 2 chain 2 loops, Now notice that this is the back side. It's going to be the right side that the cables show. So this is a one-sided stitch pattern only. Now what I tend to do is as I'm working, I know there's post stitches coming up, I kind of peek over. I kind of just turn my fabric a little upside down and I see the next post stitch right there, and I see another one over here. So we're going to work a back post around that next post stitch. So you're going to yarn over. Now before, remember, we went through the front of the fabric, but now we got to go around the back so we can make a back post. So wrap around once, find your post stitch, just insert your hook around it. See how I just kind of peek over and grab your yarn like that and bring it up. And be careful not to have your tension too tight or you might be fighting with it to bring it up. I'll do that one more time. So wrap around, just kind of peek over, put your hook around that post, grab your yarn, bring it up, and then take off 2 and take off 2. And that is your back post double crochet. And we're going to chain 2 loop in the next chain 2 loop like that. Now we're going to work another back post because we see another post stitch coming up. So yarn over, kind of peek over and find your post stitch. Go around the post of it. Now remember, don't go down here because that's your row 1 down here. We're on row 2. Actually, we're on row 3, but we want to work into the post stitch around row 2, which is our last row. So find it and go around, grab your yarn and pull it up, and then take off 2 and try to keep your tension loose. You don't want it to be too tight. And then take off 2. Next we're going to chain 2 loop in each of our last 2 chain 2 loops. 1 and 2. Now here's what it looks like on the wrong side. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And here's what we have on our right side. And you can see our post stitch is starting. Alright, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.